Welcome to Unbelievably Talented, the talent show where you need to spot the truly talented from the truly unbelievable. I'm Daniel.
I'm Kirsty, and this is our talent show. And I'm sure your classrooms are full of talented people. Daniel, I'm pretty talented myself. I can tap dance and, hang on, I can also play the guitar.
Wow, do you know what? I can play a musical instrument too. The computer keyboard. I can type at 130 words per minute.
130 words per minute. Nice. Finally, someone that can keep up with my group chat. But what about you? What are your talents? Well, you've been sharing some of your talents using our Mentimeter, and lots of you have been sharing your talents with us. So to get to the question in your class, you need to go to menti.com on your computer and type in the code at the bottom of the screen. So let's see what some of the talents are that you've been sharing with us today. I can see some of them coming through. We have Riley in Shortleys Primary. They are good at scootering, Daniel. That's a good one.
Oh wow, I can see here that Robbie is good at Fortnite. And sticking with the games, Gavin, good at FIFA.
Oh, yeah. I've seen another one. Sophia and Julia from St Nicholas Primary, you're good at piano and taekwondo. Oh, that's a good one as well. Lots of different talents in the room here. Now, shall we meet our contestants, Daniel?
Yes, let's.
Well, these are our creative people who have contributed to the show. We have artists, illustrators, costume designers, and comedians. And you'll get to see some of the creative things that they've made. But this is a talent show with a twist. We've asked some of the contestants to use generative AI apps.
Yes, generative AI apps are creative tools that can help you make all sorts of things. So it's called generative because it generates something new. So, Kirsty, I've always wished that I was a really great painter. So, what I've been doing is I've been trying out a tool called DALI, and it is one of the most popular generative AI apps. So, Kirsty, I'm going to show you what I was working on last night. What do you think of this?
Nice, Daniel. It's a silly goose, isn't it?
It's a silly goose. So, yeah, do you know what? This was just my first try. This was my first try. But what I learned is that if I get better at writing my prompts, so that's the instructions that I give it, I can actually create something that's way more realistic. So I wrote another prompt, a better prompt, a more descriptive prompt. So this is what I asked it for. So I asked DALI, the AI tool, to draw me a picture. A small sailboat made of origami paper floating towards a Scottish island. So before I show you what it created, I want you to imagine what this scene might look like. What would an origami paper boat look like? What would a Scottish island look like? Can you imagine that picture? Okay, let's have a look at what DALI created. What do you think?
Wow, that's unbelievable, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's done a pretty good job at understanding the bits of the prompt. Does that boat look like it's made of paper, Kirsty?
Yeah, I can definitely see a small, paper boat up there floating on some a bit rough water.
And could you imagine that that island is somewhere in Scotland?
Yeah, I think I could imagine that. Maybe on a nice, clear, sunny day, but yeah, it does look good.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I had a go to. Here's the prompt that I used. I asked for a telephoto shot, superhero pushing a wheelie bin, Glasgow. And again, in your class, think what might that image look like in your head? What might a superhero pushing a wheelie bin look like before we reveal it? Well, here's what the app generated.
Ah. Do you know what,
Looks good,
Kirsty?
Daniel.
That looks like a superhero. And they're pushing a
Yeah,
wheelie bin.
Exactly, yeah. You can see how it's interpreted the key parts of that prompt. You can see the superhero it's pushing the wheelie bin, and there is wheelie bins that colour in Glasgow. And it looks like it's taken the telephoto shot, as if somebody's captured that image from across the street, maybe, and zoomed in and taken that photo. But Daniel, this isn't a photograph. This isn't an image that we looked up online. This is a brand new image that's been generated using AI. But do you think you can tell the difference between something created by humans and art created using AI like these ones? Let's have your answers in the Mentimeter. So we have a question on your screen now. Do you think you could tell when an image has been generated using AI? And let's see what you think.
Yeah,
I'll
how
give you a minute or
confident are
so.
you feeling today? Do you think you're going to be able to tell the difference between human created images and AI created images? Let's see, what do you think? I can see lots of answers coming in already, Kirsty. In fact, I can see this question, we have had over 200 answers submitted already. So we're going to give you 10 more seconds and then we're going to share the results. I'm really interested to see how confident
I'm
we feel.
excited. Yeah, me too, Daniel.
Okay, well, let's bring up the graph ready to reveal the results. So here's the three options you had. I think it'll be hard to tell. I think I can sometimes tell, but the most popular answer, easy, bring it on. Well, Kirsty,
Nice.
that sounds like we've got a lot of confident people today. I'm ready to put everyone to the test.
Sounds good.
So, in that picture that Kirsty just showed you, how did the AI app know what Glasgow looks like? How did it know what a wheelie bin is? Well, it learned what those things look like. So, the generative AI app, it was trained with lots and lots of pictures. So, it's seen millions of pictures, and each one of the pictures that it's been trained with has a tag saying what's in it. So it's seen pictures of chairs with a tag saying chair, it's seen pictures of steam trains with a tag saying steam train, and it's even seen pictures of bowls of rotting fruit with a tag saying that's what's in the picture. But it hasn't just seen one example of each, it has seen millions of examples of each. And the algorithm, that's the computer program, it looks for what's common across those pictures. It looks for patterns. So as humans, we could look at these pictures and look for patterns too. So for example, with these pictures of steam trains, what do you notice about them? Well, they're all outside. All these trains, they're on tracks. The tracks are straight lines on the ground. The trains, well, they're usually black. They've got a cylinder shape. They've got steam coming out of the top of them. They're steam trains. And they've often got a red bar on the front. So in its own way, the generative AI app will have looked at these pictures, analyzed the data, and when you ask it to generate a picture of a steam train, it uses what it's learned, and it'll create something totally new. It's not just recreating them, it's not looking them up, it's making something totally new.
Now, these are a lot of fun to play with, Daniel, but I'm wondering, should we even be using AI in a talent show anyway? I get it. I know it's a powerful and fantastic creative tool, and I know companies are starting to add these apps right into our phones and our laptops.
Kirsty, I think that's brilliant. I think that means that even more people are going to be able to experiment and express themselves creatively and make their own art. I'd love to be able to use these more.
But when anyone can use AI to make something amazing, how might that change the way that we think about creativity and talented people?
Well, in this talent show, you are going to be our critical thinking judges. We have got some unbelievable images to show, and they're unbelievable because they've been generated using AI apps. So, can you spot these pictures? And how does it make you feel when you find out something's been made with AI? We want to know what you think. So, let's get started.
For the first round of Unbelievably Talented, we'll see if you can tell the difference between a portrait created by an artist and one created using AI. So we asked 3 talented people to draw a portrait of their pet. So let's see these portraits.
Yes, 3 talented artists, 3 portraits of pets. So our first portrait is of a cat called Inca. Our second portrait, well, it's also of a cat. This time it's called Sly. And our third portrait is of a dog called Percy. So take a good look at these pet portraits in your class. Maybe you need to get up close to the board, have a good look at them, look at the detail, look at the expressiveness. Just try and soak in what you can see. So there's lots of talent on show here.
Yeah, Daniel, these look really great portraits. But which of these images is unbelievable? Which one was made using AI? Well, it's time for you to be critical thinking judges. Which one do you think is made using AI? And why do you think that? We want you to submit your evidence. Tell us in the Mentimeter, what is unbelievable evidence have you uncovered? Tell us the picture and what you think is unbelievable about it. And if you want a shout out, you can put your name and your school as well. So we'll give you a few minutes to put your answers in.
Yeah, take a minute, look at the pictures, and have a think about what might be unbelievable about things that you can see in them. We want to know which picture you're suspicious of and why you're suspicious of it. So tell us on Mentimeter. We'll give you a minute.
Daniel, we've got lots of people submitting which one they think is AI, but I want to hear some of the evidence as to why people think it's the one that they've picked. So if you've chosen one of the items, what was the evidence? Why do you think that one was AI? What made you spot it?
Okay, we'll give you 30 more seconds to submit your answers. I can see lots of you already have. Over 260 answers have been submitted so far. Percy, that's a lot of evidence. That's going to be really helpful when we're trying to deduce which one of these is unbelievably talented.
Yes.
Okay, let's have a look at some of the things that you have said. So, I can see here that Gavin at Shortley's Primary has said that they think it is Percy the dog because the paper is different and the shading is different in that picture. They think it doesn't look as real.
Yeah, I can understand where that's come from. Caleb in St. Nicholas thinks that Inca is fake and Sly because it looks too good to be true. So maybe they're thinking both of the images are AI. They're not too sure which one.
Well, Lucas, as it looks, thinks that Sly is the AI generated one because the shading is weird. That's the word that Lucas has used.
Interesting.
So let's see, a few people, do you know what, we're getting a real mixture of different things here.
Yeah.
There's an interesting one here. Now, I don't know who sent this one in, but someone said they think it's Inca because the thumb is a bit strange on it. That's a very interesting observation. You must have got really close to the board and had a good look at it. Well done.
Yeah. And we've got one here from Gavin in Shortley's Primary. They think it's Percy the dog because the paper is different colour. And that's their reason, that's their evidence. So they think it's that one because the paper, Daniel. They obviously went up close as well.
And I'm going to read out one more. Murray, who's as it looks, thinks it's Sly because it's quite cartoonish looking. Interesting. It looks less like it's been done by a human. Well,
that was lots of good observations there.
Yes, so you've heard the evidence, but let's have a vote. Let's see which one you think is unbelievable. So on your Mentimeter, we want you to vote for which one of our portraits was created using AI. Get those votes in. Which one do you think it is?
Inca, Sly, or Percy?
Okay, I can tell you got about 10 seconds to get your votes in.
Lock in those answers.
Okay, Kirsty. The
Yeah.
answers are in. It's time to find out which pet portrait you have voted as most unbelievable. Who do you think was drawn using AI? Well, I think we're ready to reveal the results. So Inca the cat has received the most
Whoa.
votes. That's the pet portrait that you have voted as unbelievable. But were you right? It's time to find out which of our artworks was made using AI. You ready, Kirsty? Who's it going to be? Quite nervous.
Yes!
You're right. It was Inca. So Inca the cat is real. However, that drawing, it wasn't done by a human. The artist, Elspeth, who's on screen, she is an illustrator, but she used generative AI tools to create her artwork. So she used DALI, the same tool that we were using earlier for the sailboat and the superhero pictures, and Elspeth gave it a really detailed prompt. So let's show you what that looks like. So this is what Elspeth typed in to DALI. Elspeth said, a very simple pencil character sketch of Inca the cat, the vegetarian cat who loves eating salads. She wears a little button that says, I love grass. The sketch captures her personality as an older fluffy cat with dark fur and a white beard who wants to be a vegetarian. She has fluffy white paws. The illustration should be fun and very simple, as if sketched by a quirky Scottish illustrator, and should capture the personality of Inca the cat. It should not use colour. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to see what it made, Kirsty?
Yes.
Okay, this is what DALI created with that prompt. Ta-da!
Daniel, I'm not sure this is the drawing I was expecting. Looking at that picture, Daniel, that cat has 5 legs.
So it does.
And Inca is the cat, isn't it? It's not the grass like it's pointing to here. I don't think that looks like the work of a talented human, is it?
No, at first it seems like quite a good sketch, but the more you look, you spot some problems with it. It's not quite what Elspeth asked for. And like you said, Kirsty, I don't think this is the work of a talented human. So Elspeth decided to try again. So she tried a simpler prompt for her next attempt. So she asked for a very simple pencil sketch of a fluffy black and white cat character. Very simple cartoon style, simple pencil sketch, no shading, not intricate, holding a sign that says Go Veggie. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And there we go. There is our sketch of Inca the cat that was created by DALI with that exact prompt. So if you wondered why it said Go Veggie, that's because Inca loves eating grass.
So Elspeth had to do a bit of work here to get that sketch to come out the way that she wanted it. She had to use her knowledge and her skills to instruct the AI tool to create a good drawing. So here's a question for you. These are all pet portraits that were created using AI. Are people who use AI to make pictures like these artists? Let's hear what your thoughts are. So back onto the Mentimeter and you'll have a question. Are people who use AI to make pictures like these artists? And we want to hear your thoughts on this one.
Yes, and remember, if you want to have a shout out, then tell us your name and your school along with the information that you're sharing as part of the question. So again, we'll give you about a minute to answer this question. So have a think. Are the people who made these pieces of work, are they artists?
Some interesting answers coming through, Daniel.
There is.
We
Do you know what, Kirsty? There's so many answers that I can see lots of good responses coming in, lots of very detailed responses, some that are even written in sentences, which is brilliant. That makes it much easier for us to understand what it is that you're thinking.
There's lots, Daniel. It's great.
So, Kirsty, let's have a look at some of these answers that people have been submitting. So, I've got one here that I spotted from Ava in Muirturn Primary, which is near Inverness. And Ava says, no, it's fake art because they don't do it through the heart. I think that's a really interesting comment from Ava. What have you seen, Kirsty?
So I have one here that says, I think you are still an artist because you still put your ideas into the device. And that was from Grace from Morriswood. So Grace thinks you are still an artist because you're still putting your ideas into that device.
Do you know what? Mark and Riley, I think, are agreeing with you at Lonehead because they've said, yes, they've had to put in the words to create what comes out. So I guess you've got to be descriptive. You have to have a vision. Otherwise, these pictures wouldn't exist. They've been described in a certain way. Thank you for that.
We've had, I'm just picking out some other ones. No, because they didn't make it. That was from Lucas Peel from Peel Primary.
And I can see here Callum, who's at our Dear Primary, has said, yes, you have to use your imagination to create the drawing. And do you know what, Kirsty, I'm going to finish on a message here from Jack, who's at Up Hall. Has said, I think AI made half and human made the other half. So I guess it's kind of like you're working together as part of a team. I think that's a really interesting way at looking at it. So thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. There's going to be lots more chances to submit your feelings as the lesson goes on. But for now, it's time for round 2. For round 2 of Unbelievably Talented, we're going to see if you can tell the difference between an original illustration and one generated using AI. So we asked a comic book illustrator, Barat, to draw some superheroes in his signature style. Now, Barat is a professional illustrator and inker for comic books, and he has drawn for some really famous comics, including The Flash, Batman, and Superman. Now, Kirsty, we love his style so much that we are going to try to copy him. We used an AI tool to generate a superhero in a similar style to Barat's. But can you tell the difference between a professional illustrator like Barat and the AI copycat? Well, let's find out. Let's take a look at the artwork.
So here we have the artwork. We have superhero A. We have a look at superhero B. And we have superhero C.
3 what look to me like pretty good drawings, Kirsty.
They do.
But which of these is unbelievable? Which one was made using AI? Well, it's time for you to be critical thinking judges again. I want to know which one you think was made using AI and why do you think that? So on Mentimeter, we want you to submit your evidence. What have you uncovered? Tell us the superhero and tell us what you think is unbelievable about it. And remember, tell us your name and your school.
We have some answers coming in, but we want to hear what your evidence is to back up your answer as well. So if you think it was A, B, or C, And why do you think that? What have you spotted that has made it unbelievable?
Yes. You can see we've got lots of people who are just saying the superhero like at pinpoint. Send another comment. Tell us why you think that one is the one that's fake.
We need you to be our critical thinking judges. So we need you to give us your evidence. What have you spotted? Submit your answers into the Mentimeter. Tell us, what are we looking out for? What is giving it away that it is AI?
Okay, Kirsty, we've had some interesting answers so far. You can keep them coming if you haven't sent them yet. So I can see here that Sophia from Morriswood has said thinks there's too much detail in B, so they think B is unbelievable.
That's interesting because somebody else, Harrison, thinks C is almost too realistic as well. Like there's too much effort in there. So
And Kirsty,
similar thoughts, but for another.
yeah. So someone said that C was too realistic. Well, Georgia at Corton Primary said they think C looks too unrealistic, so they think C is unbelievable.
Let's see some other ones that have come through. Amelia from Shortleys Primary thinks it's B as well because it looks too cartoony and too realistic.
Some people are saying that they think A isn't detailed enough. So Katrina and Avo are saying that A doesn't have enough detail, which makes them suspicious of it.
Yeah, and Emma from Shortleys says A as well because there's no background on that one.
Interesting.
Which is interesting.
And we'll finish with one more. Let's see. So there's quite a few people talking about the colours in these. And Mia and Amelia at St Margaret's, they think that the colours on C just look shaded differently to the other one. It looks like it's not quite the same style, which makes them suspicious. Well, thank you very much for all the evidence that you have submitted. That's been very interesting. Maybe that's helped you in your classrooms decide which one you think is unbelievable. Well, we want you now to vote for the piece of art, the superhero that you think is unbelievable. Which one do you think was created using AI? We're going to start the countdown timer. Get your votes in now.
Will it be A, B, or C, Daniel? I'm excited to see the results of this one.
Yes, me too. So from the comments that you sent, the evidence, it said there's a real mixture of ideas coming in. There wasn't a clear winner. Were you won over by any of the evidence?
Maybe people's vote will have been swayed listening to some of the evidence from other people. Let's see.
Okay, Kirsty, it's the last few seconds of voting. If you haven't voted yet, get it in now. Okay. Let's head to Mentimeter then. So, which superhero have you voted as unbelievable? Gosh.
Whoa.
Wow. It's
That's
C.
a lot of votes for C, yeah.
Yeah. Imagine it wasn't C, Kirsty.
Yeah. This is what we're going to find out. Were they right? Maybe we should reveal which of our superheroes was made using AI. Whoa! Yes! These critical thinking judges are excellent, Daniel. They've had 2 out of 2 so far.
Yes, good work. Well done. So thanks to all the evidence that you submitted, I'm sure that helped a lot of people come to their final decision. So lots of people are now using generative AI to create characters for books or even things like role-playing games. But are they different from something drawn by a talented human? So you could tell the difference there. But what does the illustrators think? Well, we asked Barat what he thinks. So he said that AI generated images, they don't have the same thought or feelings as artwork made by people. So when you prompt an AI app, so when you give it that description, the app then doesn't think about it in the same way that a human artist would. It's just generating an image based on other ones that it's seen. So since someone hasn't really thought about the image or the character themselves, sometimes there'll be things on it that are a bit random, like the straps on the leg or the circles on the arms and the hands. Why is the strap there? What does it do? Well, Barat says a human illustrator would know exactly why they put it there. So Barat thinks that because an artist hasn't added any real thought or emotion into the image, it might not feel as special or as meaningful. And when it comes to superheroes and comics, people want artwork that really matters to them. So that's what Barat thinks. That's what the illustrator thinks.
Well, here's the question for you. If AI apps can make art that look like Barat's, what do you think that could mean for his artwork and his career? So head to the Mentimeter again, and we've got a question for you. If AI apps can make art that look like a lot like Barat's, what do you think that could mean for his artwork and his career? Tell us what you think and why, and make sure to include your name and your school so we can give you a shout out. We'll give you a few minutes to answer this question. Daniel, I can see some people tweeting along with us today as well on the call. We have St Nicholas Primary School, Primary 7 are enjoying the class. Morriswood is also taking part, Primary 6 and Primary 7 as well.
Fantastic. And you can tweet your pictures as well. It's at DigiSkillsEd.
We're getting some interesting answers coming through from the Mentimeter, but again, you've still got time to answer in. What do you think this could mean for his artwork and his career if AI apps can make art just that look like Barat's? What's your thoughts on this question?
See, there's a lot of very interesting responses coming in here, Kirsty. Some people think completely different things.
Yes.
Okay, Kirsty, let's start reading out some of the answers that we're seeing here. So I've highlighted a couple here. So Drunlarig Primary School, they've said, it could be pretty bad for him because AI is copying his work. And Tia at Elderbark, well, they have a slightly different thought. They think it might be quite helpful for Barat because it could make him work faster. He could work a lot faster, in fact, is what Tia said.
Yeah, I've got a similar one here, Charlie from Morriswood. It means his career could really take off and his artwork could get better and better, which is, again, I guess, a useful tool there. But then someone else has said his artwork might go down and no one will show him any care, maybe, even. So that was from Eva from Drumlanrig School. Some people think maybe people might take advantage of this and maybe use it for money. So maybe they're, going to take something from it there.
Yeah, Ryan at Morriswood has said, thinks it's not very fair that people might be able to basically copy what Barat has done. We've got an interesting one here from Emil, who's at Peel Primary. They said they don't think he will be affected because they could tell the difference between the pictures that we just showed you, and only a famous artist would be able to do that, and there's not many people with that amount of skill or talent.
That's interesting. It's a good point.
So Kirsty, are you spotting any sort of general patterns or trends here in what people are saying?
Yeah, I think, Daniel, a lot of people here are worried about Bharat's job, and that, you know, he might not be able to do that job anymore, so they're maybe a bit worried about what his career might be if AI could produce his artwork for him. Maybe he could lose his job, or it'll make him less popular, that kind of thing. Yeah, a lot of worry for Bharat's work here.
Yes, I think there's lots of very interesting things, but I think there are a lot of people who are worried that, you know, that it might mean definitely it's going to mean a change for him in what he does as part of his job. Kirsty, would you like to do another round?
I'd love to.
Let's do round 3.
So it's the last round of Unbelievably Talented. And you've probably heard the phrase, the camera never lies. Well, with AI apps, this isn't always the case. AI apps are really good at generating realistic images. So what happens when you can generate a photo of a moment that didn't happen, or of a person that didn't exist?
Well, we've got 2 photos here, but there is a twist. One of the pictures we're going to show you was generated with AI, and the human that's in the picture, well, they're not real. Can you tell the difference? You ready to see the pictures?
Yes.
Okay, let's have a look at our portraits. So our first portrait is of Amy, and our second portrait is of Mary. Kirsty,
Daniel,
one of these people isn't real.
I don't believe you. That's unbelievable. Daniel, those are really, really good photos. I'm finding it hard to tell here which one, but which one of these portraits is unbelievable? Which one was made using AI? Well, it's time for you to be our critical thinking judges. Which one do you think has been made using AI, and why do you think that? We want you to submit your evidence to us. Tell us in a Mentimeter, what is the unbelievable evidence that you have uncovered? Tell us which photo and what you think is unbelievable about it. And again, you can pop your name and your school, and we can give you a shout out. Daniel, this is tricky.
It is tricky. It's very tricky. Because these people, do you know what? I could believe that they both exist. It's hard to believe, actually, that one of them doesn't exist. It looks like a photo.
Yes. Looking forward to reading what the evidence is from our classrooms, so that maybe I can help pick which one I think might be AI. Let's see, is there anything coming through?
Yeah, so I'm just having a look at some of the answers that we've got here. So Kai at Morriswood Primary said Abby, because there's no reflections on her. That's interesting.
No reflections? Okay. We've got another one for Amy here, because her skin is too smooth. So maybe she looks too good.
Yeah. And Gracie thinks that it's Mary.
Yeah, we've got a few for Mary here as well. Jack at Uphall Primary. Jack, why do you think Mary is fake? Tell us in the comments. What's your evidence here? Tell me, what is it you've spotted that can tell me why?
Yeah. Dylan at Giffnock Primary is saying Amy because she's got no wrinkles, and Mary looks much more detailed because she has the wrinkles there.
Mm-hmm.
Ellis and Chris, who are at Lanark Primary, they think it's Mary because of the background. They think the background is less realistic. They think the background is fake.
So we have a Corin, Ailey, and Jeshore who think it is Amy because of the ears, Daniel. I think they're a little bit too pointy. I actually have this is the evidence in the detail that we're looking for. I've actually got another one here that says that it's a J Kaye, and they think it's Amy is obviously fake because the eyes are different widths and both are in drastically different positions. That is that is an eye for detail in that one, Daniel.
It's interesting. It does seem like more people are saying Amy, and it seems like most people are saying it's because of the skin, and it's really interesting because, you know, photos often get airbrushed or photoshopped. Does that mean they're made with AI? Oh, this is hard, Kirsty. I don't know which one's real.
I don't know, but I'd like to hear what the votes are going to be for this one.
Yes, I think we should have a vote to see which one you think is unbelievable. So on Mentimeter, get your votes in now. Who is unbelievable? Is it Amy or is it Mary?
Get your votes in. Were you persuaded by the evidence that was submitted? Amy or Mary?
Okay, you got about 20 more seconds to get those votes in. Last chance to have a look. Send in what you think. Every vote might count here. Okay, Kirsty, last few seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Okay.
It's too late to vote. We have our answer. The decision has been made. 86% of you think Amy is unbelievable, and 14% of you think that Mary is unbelievable. So, Kirsty, that's pretty much a unanimous decision. Yep. Almost everyone thinks Amy is our AI fake person.
Yep.
Shall we find out who it was?
Yes, I can't wait to find out.
Okay, here we go. Is it Amy? Is it Mary? You think it's Amy? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's Mary!
No!
Kirsty, Mary doesn't exist.
No, Daniel! She looks real. Like, I'm sure I've seen a Mary down the street before. Like, that is unbelievable. That is so clear. That looks like a realistic photograph.
It really does.
Daniel, I'm actually shocked by this. I think we all thought it was going to be Amy, definitely, but it's actually Mary. So how is this photo so realistic? How did they do this? This is unbelievable.
Yeah, well, generative AI is getting really good at creating realistic looking people. And that's because there's certain models that exist, certain versions of AI that have been trained only on photos of people. So they can create images that are super realistic, just like Mary here. So there was actually some research done by the University of Aberdeen, and they did some surveys, and they found that people couldn't tell the difference between a real face and one made by one of these specialist AI models. And in fact, Mary is one of the examples that they used in the research. And do you know what? You weren't the only people who thought it was Mary. A lot of people did. People couldn't tell.
Yeah. Well, here's a question for you. These are portraits that were all created using AI. But how comfortable are you that we have technology that can make photos of moments that didn't happen or of people who don't exist? Do you think people should have to tell you if a photo was made using AI? Or is it okay just to use it? Let's get your thoughts on this one. So, on the Mentimeter, should you have to tell people if a photo was made using AI? Tell us what you think and why, and make sure to put your name and your school in.
Yes, this is your last chance to tell us your thoughts. Have a good think. So should people have to tell you if the photo was made using AI?
There's some interesting answers coming in already, Daniel, for this question.
There
Getting
are.
people to think about it.
Kirsty, there's lots of answers coming in here. I see lots of yeses. I see some no's. One of the yeses, John, who's at Lonehead Primary, said that it might be misleading for people, and people deserve to know the truth about the pictures that they see.
Some people have said yes, so that you can't claim it as your own and make money off something that you didn't do.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm. What other questions have you got in?
So, interesting here. So, someone called Cameron has said yes if they've entered a competition, but no if they're not entering a competition. So, I guess if it's something where they're trying to judge a particular skill, then you should have to reveal it because that might be cheating. But outside of that, they're a bit more comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Emily from your town, Daniel, she said she thinks she could tell someone, but not everyone. So maybe she just wants to tell a couple of, her close friends or something, but maybe not everybody has to know that you've used AI.
Isla, Drumlanrig, has said, I don't know at all. An exclamation mark.
That's a fair one.
And I think it's okay not to know because this is new technology and it's changing all the time. Some of the photos that you see on this screen, well, do you know what? They're not photos. They're all generated by AI, these images. Some of them are quite convincing. Some of them aren't so convincing. Some of them are believable. Some of them are unbelievable. So it's quite hard to answer questions like this.
Mm-hmm. We've got one here from Cameron, Adrian, and Ethan. They said yes because it could be dangerous or used for crime. So maybe, don't know what they're planning in their classroom for that one, Daniel, but yeah, maybe some dangers around using AI as well.
Well, James, Adam, and Enrique at Arryside School are saying something quite similar to that. They said yes, because some people might generate pictures of people that they know doing things that they didn't do. Imagine that. You could generate a picture of me somewhere that I've never been before. That could be dangerous, couldn't it?
It could.
So, Kirsty, maybe we have one or two more opinions, but we have got hundreds of different opinions here, and they're all very interesting. So thank you very much for writing such good answers. And I really appreciate it when you've written in sentences with lots of detail. So I'm going to summarize the last couple. I think a lot of people are saying yes. And a lot of people are saying yes because it's you often people don't know. It's hard to tell. It might be confusing. So that's why most people are saying yes to this question. That's very interesting. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts there.
Well, we've had 3 rounds of drawings, illustrations, and photographs judged by hundreds of you. And thank you for taking part. What a great show we've had today. Daniel, I was super impressed by some of the AI creations that we saw today. Was there anything that was surprising for you?
Kirsty, I still can't get over Mary.
No, me neither.
I don't want to believe she's not real. So if you enjoyed the show today, we have a longer version that we're doing in person with other rounds like fashion, in comedy. And we're going to make sure that your teachers get information about that when it's ready to book.
Now, this was our first ever unbelievably talented live lesson, so we'd love to hear what you thought about it. And so please take a minute to answer the feedback questions on your devices now. We'd really appreciate that.
Yes. But thank you for being our critical thinking judges today. I've been Daniel.
I'm Kirsty.
And this has been Unbelievably Talented.
Talented.